Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and this weekend I'm going to be taking part in a 24-hour kart race. I'll tell you all the details you need to know in this video. This video is supported by my merch store. Go to store.bruffy.com to browse a wide variety of styles, including the ever-popular G-Fred logo and random race designs, all available on t-shirts, hoodies, mugs and more. So a bit of a quick story about this race that you're watching right now that will be the background for this video. I basically joined two back-to-back races. They were 15 minutes of qualifying and then a half an hour race each. So I was, doing about an hour and a half of racing almost, entirely in one go. And that was all to practice for this upcoming 24-hour race that we're going to be doing, which I'll talk about, where the stint lengths are going to be sort of 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So I wanted to get a little bit of practice in and figure out how I was going to last over a more longer period of, karting without any breaks or anything like that. And it went fine, it was alright. I felt okay afterwards, so I'm not too worried about that. But we basically joined some random groups for this one, so there was a wide variety of driving abilities and knowledge and skill level and things like that. We're talking sort of best laps separated by 10 to 15 seconds from top to bottom in some cases. So, it's quite different to the normal experience that you're used to seeing as part of this series with the regular championship rounds where we're all pretty close together and battling for position. There was a lot of, having to get through back markers and deal with the traffic and stuff like that. But I thought it would, make some interesting viewing for this race because it's, quite different to those normal championship rounds that you're used to seeing, and it gives us a different experience of what can happen when you go karting, and sometimes you can join other groups where the skill levels aren't, or the knowledge isn't as, or the experience isn't as much as what you might be used to. So yeah, that was the thing. I think there were two groups in this one. They were just they came for a day of karting as well, or a 45 minutes of karting, and we just joined onto that group. I say we because I was also with Penfold, one of my real life racing buddies who you've seen me race multiple times over the course of this series, even back in the 2014 series, and it was basically us two fighting for the top two positions during this race, just because that we had a lot more experience than the others around us. For this race, this first race, that's what you're seeing. My camera only allowed me to record the first race. It basically cut out immediately in the second race, which is a big shame because the second race was amazing, but I'll talk about that towards the end. For this first race, I seem to have a better kart on the straights than Penfold did, whereas his kart seemed grippier in the corners, at least in the earlier stages of the race. It had just rained for the qualifying session, so it was gradually gripping up as the race went on. But yeah, my kart was significantly better on the straights. So when it became apparent that that was the case, I decided to not attack down the main straight. Now, if this was a championship round, I would have absolutely just overtaken him down the straight and kept the position as much as I could, because in the championship rounds every month you want to, you take advantage of the good karts because you could be in a bad kart in the next one. So, but for something like this where we were just doing it for a bit of practice and a bit of fun anyway, it wouldn't have been much fun just overtaking him on the straight and that was that. So I think I overtook him early on, and then I realized that there was a big difference in the car performance, so I just stayed behind him. And if I was gonna get an overtake on him, it had to come in the infield. It had to be either with a better run out of a corner, or a late braking move, or reading the traffic better, or something like that. And we had a good battle during the course of it, so hopefully it's fun to watch as some background as I talk about this 24-hour race. So yeah, this weekend is when it's going to happen. The Buckmore Park 24-hour kart race. I think it's a fairly popular thing now. It was booked within 90 seconds this year. I'm actually amazed I got booked onto it. I was on the stream that you might have seen during the GTA 6 trailer showcase. I had to stop my stream at a certain time to load up the website to get myself booked onto the race, and get a team entered for it, because yeah, it's incredibly popular, and yeah, for them to sell out sort of, I don't know how many, but 25 to 30 places in 90 seconds is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, we got a team, and I'll introduce the team members properly in the video that I'm going to do about it, there will obviously be a video about the 24-hour race. I think there's a lot of videos that you can look up from past years. You know, Jimmy Broadbent's done it, Super GT's done it. There's been a number of YouTubers who've done this race and made videos about it in previous years. And I thought, hey, it would be fun to do. I've never done a 24-hour race before, you know, I've never been to Buckmore Park before, so it's something new and it's something fresh, and hopefully it'll make for a good real-life racing video. But when it comes to the team members, some of the names you will already know from this series. Penfold, for example, who I'm racing with in this race, Callum Cleat, Smithy, who I used to race with back in 2014 and 2015, and now as well. They're all on my team, and I'm going to be, I'll introduce the full team, as I said, during the full video. It is going to be the first 24-hour race, not just for me, but most of us, to be honest, and for most of us as well. It's also going to be the first time at Buckmore Park, so we don't really have any particular aims in terms of doing well. I don't think we're just aiming to get to the end and finish, and you know, like I said, hopefully I'll get a good video out of it, and you'll have fun watching it whenever it arrives. So yeah, I'm in terms of video, I'm aiming on something on the same level as the football video from last year, which if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, because I think it is the single best video on this channel. It might not be to that exact level because there's so much history involved in that one, but yeah, that's what I'm aiming to do, you know, record as much as I can of the weekend and tell you the story of what happened, and hopefully we have a good race to back it up as well. But like I said, it's this weekend as I upload this video that the race will be taking place, and you will be able to watch it live if you want to, because they have proper commentary and camera shots and everything like that for this race every year. So I'll leave links in the description and the pinned comment to the first of all the YouTube channel where you can watch this, and it's, you know, just completely open and free to watch. But also once the race has started, I'll update those links to the actual broadcast so you can watch it directly. I'm not sure as of right now whether the broadcast will be available to link immediately, so I'll link the YouTube channel first, and then you can keep checking back there for when the race starts. I think it starts at about 2 or 3 p.m. UK time on the Saturday, and then we're just going to be racing consistently in the same kart for the next 24 hours and finishing at the same time on Sunday. So it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be a fun weekend. I might try to do some sort of like quick streams while I'm there, probably to Twitch, just like, you know, I'm going to have 24 hours and I'm only going to be in the kart for 3 to 4 hours of those 24. So yeah, there'll be time, I think, to be able to maybe do some live streams, so keep an eye on things for that. Obviously I won't be doing my normal streams on this weekend, but yeah, it should hopefully be fun. And like I said, I'll leave a variety of links in the description and the pinned comment so you can watch things live or get some coverage of it. And if you can't, there will be a video out as part of this real life racing series. The next episode of the real life racing series will be covering our experience at the 24 hours of Buckmore Park. So yeah, hopefully you're excited for it. In terms of this race, I did manage to keep this win, even though it was very close at the end, where a slower back marker just sort of parked it on the apex, and then Penfold was right back behind me again for the very last lap, and he tried a few moves, but I managed to keep the win in this one. But the second race we did was even closer, and it's a real shame I don't have the footage of it. The karts were actually pretty even. Now my camera just didn't last long enough to be able to record both, and if I'd known beforehand how the races were going to go, I probably would have not recorded the first race that you've just watched and instead recorded the second one, because it was just changing positions every lap, you know, going for moves, dive bombing down the inside of each other. Again, it was me and Penfold that were at the front, but it was just so much fun every single lap. You know, Penfold would dive up the inside, and then I'd get the cut back and be able to carry the speed through, and you know, it was just all changing of positions all the way. I ended up with the best lap by 1/10 of a second, and we were separated by 600ths of a second at the line, where Penfold had a slightly compromised exit. He was in the lead for the second part of the race, and he had a slightly compromised exit on the final corner, and I got a much better run. but ultimately I finished second place in that one. So it was one each for the two of us across the two races. But yeah, 6/100ths of a second was a very close finish, and yeah, like I say, it was a real shame that I don't have the footage of it. But hey, the proof is here on screen on the results that we got after the race. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. It's a short one, and I wanted to, at least showcase. I think I've only done one of these episodes before where I've shown sort of random race footage from a race that I just happened to have joined with other randoms, you could say. Back in 2014, I think I did that. But obviously the most important part of this video is letting you guys know that I am doing a 24-hour kart race. It's going to be interesting, it's going to be tough, I'm sure. But yeah, feel free to check it out if you can live this weekend. And if not, I'll be making a video about it. And obviously you can make sure to follow me on Twitter or the Discord announcements channel, for example. I'll leave links to those things down below as well, because I'll do my best to update you on when I'm getting in the kart for those platforms as well, so you can stay up to date. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you're looking forward to some 24-hour race action. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.